This is John McGrath with Alight Solutions. Today we're going to be walking through the Workday Adaptive Planning, CapEx, and Funding dashboard in our higher education demo. Here we can see we have a new funding request for a new dormitory of $54.6 million. We're able to fund this through two different sources of funding, one being endowment of $34.6 million and the other debt of $20 million. We're able to measure our total funding by source over time in a chart like this, including identifying where are we on a percentage standpoint to reach our funding goal of 96% and finally to 100%. We can also measure the endowment growth over time and the funding by source to our endowment, such as the return and gifts to the overall endowment, and then eventually our transfer out. We can also measure and monitor the ROI. Another area that is commonly overlooked for new ventures are the operating expenses that are continuous associated with the new funding, such as principal, interest, depreciation, and other OpEx. So here we can see that we have other OpEx coming online once the dormitory has gone live or has been placed into service. We can also have our debt model placed directly on the dashboard as well. So here we can see we're taking out $20 million in fiscal 25, and we assume that we have an interest rate of 5%. This can all be monitored and changed and have a variable rate, or we can even do things like interest only. Here we can see our CapEx plan for the new dormitory. And right below, we can see our CapEx and cash for cash spent, fixed asset placed into service, and then the subsequent depreciation. In the circumstance that we get feedback from our engineer back, and the project now costs $50 million, we can enter that here. We'll want to identify where that $5 million is going into the overall project plan. And let's just say that is going into an early stage. We select save. And if we scroll back up to the top here, we're going to find that we actually don't reach our funding goal. And now we need to fund $59.6 million. Now, while gifts would be an ideal place to identify the funding source from, it is not reliable. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we are going to say, all right, let's adjust this by 5 million. I could have also just typed in 25 million as well. And then we're also going to say that this is going to be interest only for the first 3 years. Once that saves, all of our charts and graphs subsequently update as well. And so here we can see that we don't have an interest payment until fiscal 28. And then we have the full boat of our operating expenses coming online in fiscal 29. If we scroll back up to the top, we'll now be able to see, oh, we actually reached 100% of our funding right there. I hope you enjoyed this review of the CapEx and funding dashboard in adaptive planning.